Good evening, everyone. So it's Saturday night and it's 7:45. As usual, we are online with yet another episode. But as I always say, that's an informative session जो मैं और एक बार लेके आया हूँ. I'm just waiting for all my viewers to come on. Hello, Rohan 4223. Very good evening. And thank you for joining in so much on time. I hope you're doing good. Okay, so there are a lot of people. I'm waiting for some more people to join in. Hi Rohan, how are you? Thank you. I hope you're doing great. I hope सब कुछ safe है. Great, great. Thank you Rohan. Thank you. I'm absolutely fit, fantastic, fabulous. I mean, I'm doing good. घर पे बैठे हैं, waiting for the lockdown to get over. Very, very good evening, Monty. And Monty, thank you. Yeah. थोड़ा सा आज मेहनत किया है बैकड्रॉप के ऊपर. I've tried some creative stuff. Hi Nupur, how are you? Good to see you. Hi Vikas. So yeah, people are joining in. Hi Nidhi. Second Rohan को Monty hello बोल रहे हैं, big hello. Hi Nidhi, thank you for joining in. Hi Saili, good evening. So it's before starting off, hi Shweta, good to see you here. Okay, before starting off, I would just जो लोग यहाँ पे हैं who are following the news probably एकदम मेरे से ज़्यादा, I would just like to ask you all what is the scenario of the lockdown, and today it's really gonna be, it's very humid. I'm gonna sweat a lot. Thanks अपना चाहता रोहन मेहता. Thank you. That was a rhyme. Rohan, a small request, can something be done about the background noise? I am so sorry. The next time I think I will do something because there are the kids playing downstairs और उनको मैं ना नहीं बोल सकता. So I would request them the next time we come online, I would request them to please for sometime they can work it out somewhere else. Hi Manu. Okay, a very good evening. I really need to start off the session before everyone joins in because our guest has already joined in. A very good evening Ashwini ma'am one more time. Or let me start off with my own style as usual. A very good evening everyone and a very warm welcome. I hope you two guys are doing fit, fantastic and fabulous as usual. Okay, so thank you Rohan. So this has been a session, I would say. ये एक ऐसा session है, पहली बार हम मेरे 10 episodes में पहली बार हुआ है, that is on public demand. Because last week, last Wednesday में जो हम लोग के sessions थे, जो session रहा है इनका अश्विनी जी का, उसमें कुछ questions के answers because of time constraints we couldn't give. And अश्विनी जी को मैंने request किया and she is here again to give all the answers to the questions और बहुत ही ज़्यादा informative रहने वाला है. So here now I really want to invite Ashwini ji. Hi Khushi, I hope you're doing great. A very good evening. She is already here waiting for us. So I hope the net is working fine. Hi Amit. Hello.
Hello, Ron. How are you all?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good.
I need to say this. जो मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ आप बहुत अच्छे दिख रहे हो.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay, Ashwini ji, now thank you very much. Formally, I need to thank you because again, you're here and जैसे बात हुई थी, lot of people had message, आपको भी message आ गया था, कुछ लोगों का, मुझे भी आया था कि कुछ questions रह गए हैं उनके. So we are here to give all the answers to the questions and thank you very much to give the time again. So
Welcome, Ron.
last time,
You
हाँ
for
जी.
inviting twice. I should thank you for inviting, for bearing with me twice.
ना 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 अब मैं इसके ऊपर कुछ और बोल देता पर मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा. आज एकदम से हम लोग सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर देने हैं. सो वी आर नॉट गोना वेस्ट एनी मोर टाइम एंड लेट्स गेट गोइंग. एंड आई लव ऑल दी हार्ट्स कमिंग फ्रॉम डाउन. जो भी हार्ट्स मुझे भेज रहे, प्लीज प्लीज मुझे भेजते रहिए. इट मीन्स दैट यू आर लविंग दिस सेशन. हाय वीजी ब्रदर्स, everyone who has joined in, thank you very much for this It's My Story, What's Yours, Part 2, Session 10 with our very own Mrs. Ashwini Despande. Thank you, ma'am. So now, madam, सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन जो रह गया था वो था सेक्शन 498 पे.
Yes.
तो सेक्शन 498 पहले तो आप थोड़ा सा इन ब्रीफ एक्सप्लेन कीजिए जो लोगों को नहीं पता है, सो दे कैन जस्ट नो एंड देन वी कैन गो अहेड.
Okay. See, Section 498 actually is designed for the domestic violence cases, and it protects women's rights here. Okay. So
Okay.
it were all these cases from dowry starts that during the marriage when the talks go on, people want to settle on some amount of dowry, and then people we know all these cases we see in Hindi movies. People might not see cases, but we see all these things that because of the dowry people start harassing the girl, and then people ask for money. There are cases of people beating for burning girls and all these things also. But for all these protections, 498 is designed. For there is mental cruelty also. Now the cruelty, the term cruelty here, the term harassment here, these have different meanings. Okay, that beating, then abusing, sexual abuse, all these things by the relatives and by the husband. All these things are under cruelty and all these things. And the protection is given from this type of domestic violence. There are so many very bad cases. Even if the lady doesn't have a son, and she has daughters, there is mental torture. People, there are cases where the person marries twice, and these things go on. And here, from all these things, the protection is given by 498. But in the recent scenario, what we have seen is that 498 is, it is misunderstood, or rather misused, not misunderstood, it is misused. No. So cruelty and all these things, when when educated girls, they comprehend cruelty to be something else. That in the recent cases, what we have seen is that मेरा husband मेरे को आइसक्रीम रोज नहीं खिला रहा है. My husband, but yes, there are cases. Ki Roj, he is not. Yes. This case when I'm talking about, it was some 12 years back. That there was a case when this 498 section had immediate the boy's parents and the husband, they can be. That was the provision at that time, and once file an FIR. It is some 12 years back, but because such started coming up, and girls started misusing the 498, then there is now the provision has changed that first counseling has to be done, then people, some officers have to check whether this girl is genuine, or whether these complaints are genuine, and then only take the further step. Now 498 doesn't permit that ये लड़का है, इसने this girl has lodged a complaint and उसको jail में डालो. It does not allow. So this protection is given big to the men because of these केसेस, ये जो नंबर ऑफ केसेस आ रहे हैं वो जो मतलब मिसयूज के लिए जो आ रहा है उसकी वजह से दिस इज ओके. सो this I've seen some 12 years back. I had a case. This girl every day, or rather, she used to have some kind of quarrel with her husband, and her in and she used to call up. We had at the police station. I was on the committee at the Gangapur police station at that time, and she used to call up की मॅडम मला ह्याचं आता डिवोर्सच घ्यायचा आहे, मला नाही राहायचं आहे याच्या बरोबर. और पता चलता था कि एकदम फालतू सा रीजन होता. And one day she came up, she and her mother, they came up and said कि हम लोग को डिवोर्स चाहिए ही आज. तो I was क्यों मतलब हुआ क्या आज? So she said कि yes, from yesterday she was pregnant and she was at her mom's place, and this fellow, he had a mobile shop. He used to run it shop till 9:30 in the evening. And he said कि मैंने इसको yesterday से I've told that you get me a new sweater करके, and from yesterday he's not getting, buy me a new sweater is, and he
sweater pe.
And from yesterday he is not getting, so I don't want to live with him. At that I sensed it that every day she is going to bring some new mess. So I said, see, I called that husband and I said, इसको divorce चाहिए, तू divorce दे. He said, का बरा मैडम तो. I said, she doesn't want to stay with you. तो आज उसको हाँ बोलेगा ना, तो तू कल कुछ ना कुछ तो वो कल लेके ही आने वाली. You just take it. And when this was done, then she and her mother was shaken. From that day till today, now there are no complaints, and they have a very, very happy life. And he
thank God. I mean, कुछ लोग समझ जाते हैं.
That was a stand which had to be taken because there are such types of cases going on that people are misusing. And there are many cases in the villages where women are harassed to a very, very bad extent. You cannot even imagine these kinds of harassments. But the girls in the city, or some people, this has reached even the villages, that some people are trying to misuse this, and by the further misuse, what they want to do is that after the divorce, they just want to get the alimony. Alimony is the amount the husband pays to the
right
after their separation. So for more alimony, these people harass. This is one of the biggest, this was found biggest flaws of this, rather the misuse of it. So
okay.
Over a period of time, now the thing is that the FIR thing has been changed, that you cannot lodge immediately, you cannot lodge a complaint. You have to go through the counseling sessions, you have to go to the committee members, you have to attend. All these things are done. And now the other day you asked me a question that whether there are provisions for men. Yes, of course, there are provisions for men too. Because there are protection. It is not that, see, in front of law, everyone is equal. And because of all these things and all these cases, you get that this girl, she got such a amount of alimony, she was harassed, then isko giraftar kar diya, and all. You get to know all these cases, but men do not know that law protects them equally. Jo case jata hai, and if you are a genuine person, then some or the other day truth is going to come in front of the people, and you have, once only if you are genuine, I'm saying. See, मेरे पास सामने भी अगर कोई आए, some people, if they come, we immediately understand कि genuine कौन है, कौन कौन झूठ बोल रहा है, and who is trying to cheat whom. ये समझ में आता है. This is there, and so genuinity is what it matters, and men should not think that we do not have any kind of protection. There is a men's men's protection. If you Google it, you will get a phone number there.
No, I would like to cut off over there. I would just come on the men's protection thing. Definitely will come as a second question. But right now, let me understand this, and maybe if people have some questions, we can start pouring in the questions right now, so we can just answer everything. जैसे आपने कहा कि 498 is domestic violence. I'm writing here, so मैं कभी कभार नीचे देख लूंगा. I have a paper and a pen, and यहाँ पे हो जाता है कि इससे रिलेटेड डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हो या क्रुएल्टी हो, जैसे आपने कहा, वो फिजिकल हो सकती है, मेंटल क्रुएल्टी हो सकती है, दोनों, राइट? सो इट कम्स अंडर 498.
Right.
So this has been used in a wrong way by women. Then they go and complain for divorce or any kind of separation, and then they go in for compensation or alimony, right? Alimony, I think alimony is the right word. So now tell me, what all situations have been seen and only then the alimony has been granted? On what grounds the alimony has been granted?
Okay. See, first thing is that to the extent on the grounds means there are various grounds. First thing, whether the lady she is earning or not. In these also, see, once there is some act या law passed by the court, उसमें भी कुछ तो रहता है कि जिसमें हम लोग कुछ वे आउट, दैट इज
नहीं, वो वे आउट के लिए हम अभी नहीं बात करेंगे, हम सिर्फ बोलेंगे लॉ क्या बोलता है.
See, law, when if the person ऐसा है कि she is staying, she instigates the person and she doesn't want to stay with him, then she does not have that right of alimony. As see, कुछ लोगों का दिमाग रहता है ना, वो सिर्फ alimony के लिए ही ये cases instigate.
ट्रू, एब्सोल्युटली.
उसमें कुछ हरास किया है ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. इट इज ओनली फॉर द, देयर आर सो मेनी केसेस की जो एलिमनी के मनी मेकिंग उनका ये इसके साथ तलाक किया, दूसरे के साथ, देयर आर सो मेनी केसेस गोइंग ऑन. सो alimony has to the criteria for alimony or all these things that you have to study all these things. कितनी जेन्युइन है वो. यस, अगर उसके हस्बैंड की गलतियां है, इवन देयर द कोर्ट कैन जज ना कि उसकी भी गलती है, इसकी भी गलती है. शी इज नॉट अर्निंग और नॉट अर्निंग इनफ. शी इज अर्निंग बट इट इज नॉट इनफ. शी इज हैविंग हर किड्स विथ हर और व्हाटएवर दैट थिंग. लायबिलिटी there, and then it is the husband's duty that yes, you take care of the kids. क्या तुम लोग का नहीं पड़ रहा है, ठीक है, तुम लोग मत ये करो, but you have to take care of it. It is your responsibility also. The kids are there, so all these factors are there. So in short, while I cannot tell you, but there are, I can only say कि जो गलत है वो immediately समझ में आता है, and the amount of alimony is dependent on which background you are coming from, what status, other financial status and everything. All these
But then is there any kind of a percentage decided that alimony होगा तो minimum 15% of the income or 20%?
Depend on the case only. Yes, it will depend. It will depend on the case, on the social status, on the financial status of the person. It is not कि वो 10 लाख साल का कमा रहा है तो उसको साल भर में उसको 15 लाख देना. It is not like
Nothing like that. अच्छा.
Studies everything.
ठीक है. Okay, so here you also said we had a question last time, so we'll take the questions first जो last time हमारे से रह गए थे, and then we'll come on the entire details of it. We had a question on sexual harassment. Now sexual harassment is yet another big problem that I think everyone is facing, but let me ask you that is it only in the divorce case जहां पे आपने कहा कि there are protection for men also? This if someone मेरे जैसे अगर कोई लड़के सुनेंगे तो उनके लिए हो जाएगा कि भाई वेरी गुड है, ऐसा कुछ जरूरी नहीं कि सिर्फ लड़कियों की तरफ पूरा लॉ है. आई ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू फील कि यार हम जेंडर को क्या साइड में रखा है, ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता. तो सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट क्या सिर्फ एक औरत का होता है?
नहीं, see, it is not like that. Sexual harassment औरत का ही होता है ऐसा नहीं है. Even right from the child abuse, if you see the percentage, from 10 cases, 3 are boys who are harassed from child abuse, if you see. And of course the percentage here too has increased, that it is not that only women are harassed sexually, it is men also are harassed. I think in your industry it is very common. But
I was just about to say this with a personal experience which went 15-18 years back, but you continue, I'll tell you what happened.
See, the thing is that men usually think that if I report such a thing, these things are why these cases are not coming out. This is the reason that if men think that if I report, what will people think of me? You remember that Ajnabi movie?
Movie, yeah.
And I
नहीं
think
नहीं, ऐतराज ऐतराज
Etras,
ऐतराज.
Etras, yes. That the lawyer परेश रावल ही उसको पूछता है ना कि तू इतना खूबसूरत है कि लड़कियां तेरे पे अरे this type of this fear men have that अगर I say कि I'm sexually abused by XYZ or by whatever whoever person, even boys or men around me will ridicule कि अरे क्या कुछ भी बोलता है. This is
हाँ
the
हाँ.
this is the first fear which men have, and
Yeah.
this is the reason why they do not report. Okay, and because they do not report, we think that there are only even the sexual harassment cases of women, they are not reported. They are hardly reported, I would say. I always tell girls and women who are educated that please do report. When we call ourselves empowered, why don't we go and have the guts to report the cases? We should have the guts to report the cases. उसमें क्या होगा, थोड़ा सा mental trauma you have to face कि वो तो है ही. On one side, if you are abused, वो तो है ही, you have to face. But if you develop that confidence that no, agar whatever society says, you are not bothered about, should not be bothered. मेरे को जो फर्क पड़ रहा है, तो अगर I do not report, this will continue and someone else will also be harassed. This also we
यहाँ पे तो I think society should not only today. Let me clear everyone over here. We are not going against men, women, or we are not against the law, or we are not saying कि protection इसको ज़्यादा है तो आज मर्द को दर्द क्यों नहीं होता है, and I have come up with this. No, it is just a general query because a lot of times people actually boys do not go because ये हम लोगों को भी बताया गया है ना. एक तो बॉयज रोते नहीं हैं, ये पता नहीं किसने बोला हुआ है. अब ये बोल बोल के हमको रोना है तो भी हमको रोने नहीं देते हो. ठीक है, फिर आप जैसे कह रहे हैं कि अगर आपके पास कोई केस लेके आता है तो आपके साथ के जो लोग हैं, वो भी उसका मजाक उड़ाते हैं. अरे ऐसे थोड़ी है.
right.
So you have been, if I am there, people will laugh at, अरे you have been sexually harassed by a woman. What were you doing? या तो उसका गलत मतलब भी निकलता है.
गलत मतलब
So this,
Rohan, one thing is कि male ego is there. कि people think कि males कि अरे मैं ऐसा कैसा, my ego will be that, वो आ जाता है. Reporting में happens is that thing is there. But I have seen many cases where boys or men have been destroyed by all these, where women or girls have exploited the boys to a very, very bad extent, and they have gone into depression. It is because these boys do not speak up. They don't even speak up to their family members, to their friends, and all. And the girls take the worst disadvantage of all these things. I have seen that men are thrown out of their jobs. Men are thrown out of their jobs only because of a wrong complaint of some lady. And they have been trapped in all these things. Men are trapped in all these things, and they understand who is trapping, but they cannot speak. And usually, our mindset is what usually when a girl cries, people are ki nahi yaar wo sach bol rahi hogi. It is the mindset of the society. We cannot help it. See, once people like us, if we are dealing with this, when we have such cases, we immediately understand ladka is at fault या लड़की is at fault. We immediately make it out. Once they enter the room, जो enquiry चलती है उसमें once they enter, immediately we can make it out कि ये गलत है, ये गलत है. But girls, what they do is they shed tears, and then people are trapped in that. I don't say that girls are not at boys are not at fault. There are many cases where there is a lot of harassment. But there are boys, you should be aware. I must say that even the WhatsApp chats and everything should be clear from your side. Even the girls should be clear. Once someone sends you a message, usually it is starting with the social media, and you should be clear. If you are saying no to a person, you should be very clear in that I'm not interested in speaking with you, XYZ, whatever you are trying to. This is the message which should be given. You should be very, very clear from your side. See,
So now we should start something like बीच में चालू हुआ था. Do you think we should start something like जागो ग्राहक जागो, वहाँ पे जागो मर्द जागो,
not even
because
this applies even to the ladies also. It is not like that. It applies even to the ladies. Whoever is saying no in whatever provocations done from the other side, you should be very clear that I am not interested in, I am not this kind of person. You have those chats. See, in such cases, what happens further? That we have to investigate their social media chats. कौन झूठ बोल रहा है और कौन सच बोल रहा है, ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए हम लोग को लगते हैं वो चैट्स.
पर ये मेरे सर ने बोला था ये मुझे, मतलब सबको बोला था, सबने सुना था. पिंक मूवी में मेरे सर थे मिस्टर अमिताभ बच्चन, उन्होंने बोला नो itself is a statement. Yes. So you should be clear with it. Right, so right. Now, as you have said these things that we really need to focus on. There is one question. There are actually two questions जो हम लोग उसके ऊपर जाते हैं अभी. वो ये है कि one question is from Monty, is how and where men should go with stage of family issue. जो first stage होता है family issues का. So किस तरीके से उन्हें अप्रोच करना चाहिए? Where should they go? Now this is for men. Second question has come from Ritesh. Okay, so Ritesh says that he has done some work for one particular XYZ person, a female. Ritesh is basically into editing. जो हमारे सारे creatives बनते हैं वो Ritesh बनाते हैं. So जितने भी मेरे sessions के fifth आए media works, so he is the owner of that company. So Ritesh का था कि एक जगह उन्होंने काम किया था, बार बार वो पैसे मांगने पे उनको वो पैसे नहीं मिले, बट उनको एक अलग तरीके से कुछ बोला गया है, विच आई थिंक उनके अगेंस्ट कंप्लेन भी की गई थी, जहां पे उनको बोला गया है अब पैसे मिलेंगे नहीं, शायद ऐसा कुछ हुआ है. सो ही इज आस्क्ड these two questions.
Okay. See, regarding Monty, you mean to say that family agar matters hai, how are you going to open up, right? That is your question. Right. First, you have to, as I said, it should be your mindset that when I am on the truth side, I should be bold enough to whatever people say, I am going to report or whatever. First, you make a mindset. Mindset here is very important, because I'll tell you what happens is sometimes when you lodge a complaint, then other people say कि अरे क्या कर रहा है यार तू, ऐसा कोई तेरी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी, and all these things. When people provoke you again shake कि अरे करना चाहिए या नहीं चाहिए. You should be
डराते भी.
Yes, you should be very, very firm in this. As I said last time, that wo male Purush Hakka Samiti is there. And such cases are there. कि for alimony, the lady is harassing. In such cases, they are asked कि नहीं ठीक है मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है यार, तू 25 lakhs मांग रहे, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है. I prefer going to the jail. You should have that confidence and you should do it. Once she says that ये नहीं है सच में. This is the only, as I said, the people are always sensitive towards the lady. Suppose there are 100 people, 80% people will be towards the lady. Because
90.
Because our mindset is like that.
Absolutely.
But it is not like that. And then some people who are supporting, you might find that there is hardly a friend who is supporting you. But first you make up your mind to be firm. Then you see, you can have a men's helpline. When you Google it, you will get a phone number. There, when you get the phone number, we have one more, as I said, the counseling team person. He is a specialist in Purush Hakka Samiti. You understand? He is a specialist in Purush Hakka Samiti. Just now, as more than 400 cases in the last year, just now at present, he is dealing with 250 cases.
Wow.
Those who have reported, those who are not reported, वो तो अलग है. At present, he is reporting, and he himself was a victim of this, and then he converted, and he can
इसीलिए
understand.
वो हाँ.
Yes, and he has actually, he used to have some sessions in at golf club every Saturday. All these Purush Pidit, they used to meet there, but now because of the norms,
COVID.
they are not meeting, but they are having some Google Meet or Zoom online sessions. They are having where people of the same thinking, they meet, and they same, rather all the victims, they meet and they exchange. See, once I was having a session, this applies both to domestic and I'm saying posh. Actually,
Hmm.
we are dealing with two different topics, and with the given time, we will. But I'll try to make the most of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, once I was having a session at the police department, and I was, I don't remember, but I was talking on sensitivity or some topic at the police department. And there, while talking to those people, I found one person. He was very a senior officer, very stout, like the people, bouncers and all. You know, you cannot even imagine that he ro sakta. He was continuously there, also water, rolling out. And I noticed it during the session, but I naturally at that time I didn't, and I couldn't, and I didn't react. After the session, he came out with me and he said, "Ma'am, I want to speak to you." And
Hmm.
he reported to me such, you cannot imagine the type of harassment his wife and her family members, they were harassing. He was so such a kind-hearted person, and he didn't want to hurt her image, and he was not reporting. At that time, I sat with him. I asked him that your image, your family, your parents' image won't be hurt, if it was spoiled. If even if it is going to get spoiled, don't do it at the cost of your mental, tension and mental health. And then I
True.
convinced him at that time, you bring the girl to me, I'll talk to her. If she really wants to stay, if she is really that kind of person who wants to stay, it is very good. Otherwise, we will have to stop here. And at that moment, he said that I cannot make, I'm so much afraid of the society that I cannot make myself go to the police station in spite of being a police person. You
So
imagine,
I think the society needs to change a lot.
the mindset needs to be changed. Same applies with women too. Women too have to face, many women have to face many issues. But why are they not reporting? Because it is the society's mindset कि एक बार शादी कर दी तो क्या बोलते हैं ना, अर्थी say she will go out of the house and all these things. So it is the mindset. Same applies with the women. In both the cases, you should please don't think of the society. The society is not going to look after you.
True.
You just come up with your problems. And as I said the other day's session, that we have a counseling team which are working free for all these things. I don't know whether I have spoken to you even through in your industry, Rohan. I had certain people reporting to me that your industry too is having many sexual harassment cases.
Many, many,
There are,
many.
which people are discussing amongst themselves. I'm talking about the Nasik industry, yeah? And which people are discussing about within themselves, amongst themselves, but they are not coming in.
So this is what I'm saying, na? Whether it is men or women, whether it is any, it doesn't depend on any caste, creed, or sex. It depends on the harassment that you're going through. I think you should, the first step is go and talk to people. That a lot of people make a mistake that we can't talk because of certain things. So the first step is obviously going and getting it solved in a proper way, and the communication is the main thing. You have to either
Right.
you communicate to your partner or your friends or legal authorities or anything, they will guide you. The
Yes.
second question was Ritesh's question: how does this person now get into it and ask for the money?
The question was regarding his deal with someone, no?
Yeah, deal with someone, he was not being paid. I think उसके पास सारे chats है, सब कुछ है जहाँ पे उन्होंने बोला है.
You can immediately report it to the police station. You can hire a lawyer, and you can send a notice to him first. You send a notice.
Okay.
You want any help regarding lawyers? We have a lot of
Yeah.
You can discuss it separately, and you can send a proper notice. See, all these points have to be written in the notice, and you can send the notice that such and such amount is remaining, and all these things are. That is an entirely different thing. But we have to need to discuss it in person.
एंड सी यहाँ पे ये हो जाता है ना अश्विनी मैम की जैसे हमारा फील्ड आ गया एक क्रिएटिव. अब जैसे रितेश का ही मैं एग्जांपल देना चाहूंगा कि हम लोग जब एडिटिंग और ग्राफिक्स बनाते, जैसे आपका और मेरा क्रिएटिव जो हम लोग ने सर्कुलेट किया, अब ये बहुत स्मॉल अमाउंट्स में चलता है. फिर एडिटिंग आता है, वो थोड़ा सा बिगर अमाउंट में जाता है, 5, 10, 15, 20 हजार रुपए तक. अब 20 हजार रुपया आज की डेट में किसी के लिए इतना बड़ा नहीं है. बस हाँ ठीक है, लॉकडाउन के हिसाब से बहुत बड़ा है, बट द पीपल हु आर डूइंग सच बिग अमाउंट बिलिंग, ऑब्वियसली उनके लिए वो तो खर्चा है ही. दे हैव टू, सो दे हैव दैट मनी इन हैंड. बट पीपल लाइक रितेश वुड ऑलवेज फील कि अभी 10 हजार और 15 हजार रुपए के लिए कहाँ लॉयर के पास है.
इट इज बिकॉज अगेन दिस माइंडसेट इज देयर.
एग्जैक्टली.
के लिए मैं क्यों जाऊं, तो 10-15 हजार you donate it to someone if it is not important to you. But
I always say that.
वो तुम्हारा हक का पैसा है, and you are encouraging someone's wrong thinking and wrong behavior. Because of this action, you are encouraging people. See, I don't know whose matter he's, whatever. People flaunt about कि मेरे पास ये है वो है, और दूसरों का पैसा बुड़ा के what is the big thing ना?
इसीलिए तो उनके पास पैसा रहता है ना, क्योंकि किसी का पैसा चुकाते ही नहीं, इसलिए तो पैसा रहता है.
You don't encourage this wrong kind of thinking, Ritesh, please. So for that, at least
people in the entertainment industry are misunderstood, and their spouses always blame them for having an affair with the opposite sex. Okay. On team.
एकदम sensitive question है. See,
एकदम हाँ.
Tell you, right from the college students, I always tell people, the way you deal with your friends, or the proximity which you have within you and your friends, that always matters. You know that you are good friends. You know that you do not have any kind of intention, but just as an onlooker, you try to think of the situation. See, you cannot prove that I have a very good friendship with XYZ person only by hugging her and sitting near her and all these things. Okay, that not any kind of parameter to measure what kind of friendship level you are having. You should have the bare minimum decency thing. One thing is there, that because of the film industry and all these things, see, what happens is the basic mindset there again is that these people, they have they have to in their acting, they have to have such kind of scenes where they are very, very natural, even like husband and wife. But can you imagine even husband and wife in the public, if they try to be very romantic, people will laugh at them. Okay, so this is not accepted by our society, and you should be very confident if you do not have any kind of such type of relation. See, first thing is that your spouse should know it, that what kind of relation you share with that person. Thing is there, and second, if you don't have anything in mind, that naturally speaks. Your body language speaks. Third thing, if your spouse is it is having some kind of reason for all these suspicions and all these things, then you have to prove it. Okay, and while dealing with it, if the other person is trying to approach you more and that person is crossing the limits, you should be able to tell that person that no, this is not allowed. This kind of message should go. Don't go don't be swayed by the society कि ये सब ऐसे ही चलता है, इसमें ऐसे ही चलता है, मतलब चलाने वाले हम लोग ही है, इसलिए सोसाइटी हमारी है, चलाने वाले हम लोग ही है, इसलिए ये सब ऐसे चलता है. There are, see, I will never say that two opposite sex people do not have, there are close, but they should maintain their limits. If it is creating issues in your family, if it is creating issues in the society, we should maintain that. I said, I scolded even to the college students that the proximity which you maintain, that should matter. यू नो कितना सी गाड़ियों पे बैठते हैं यूजुअली उसी कॉलेज कैंपस में जाने के बाद, टू व्हीलर पे बैठते हैं, एंड द वे दे यूज इट, वो एक दूसरे को खाना खिलाते, क्या जरूरत है, क्या जरूरत है ये सब चीजों की? देयर इज नो नीड। आई
वो खुद खा लेंगे।
I'll tell you one thing. On some 2 years back, मॉडल कॉलोनी के स्टॉप के सामने किधर एक लड़का और लड़की बैठे थे, एंड पुलिसमैन ही केम एंड ही सेड कि दिस इज नॉट द वे फॉर यू पीपल टू सिट पब्लिकली, जो भी है अफेयर है चल रहा है, तो तेरी मम्मी किधर है, तेरी मम्मी को फोन लगाओ तेरी मम्मी को। तो एंड ही कॉल्ड अप his sorry the girl's mother, and she said कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है, and he talked to her mother. That lady, you know what she answered? कि ये लड़का और लड़की छोटे हैं, अब भी ये सब करेंगे, नहीं तो क्या तेरे उम्र में करेंगे क्या बुड्ढे? This is what her mother said. And if you encourage such things, see, there should be decency. Dignified behavior is only welcome everywhere. अगर छिछोरेपन करते रहेंगे ना, सी अगर कोई एक्टर आया उसके एकदम गले में हाथ डाल के तुम लोग फोटो निकालोगे, तो तुम लोग का स्पाउस कैसे टॉलरेट करेंगे? Every day, how can, see, these things are, this doesn't define any kind of modernity. This doesn't. We have seen people कि जो कुछ कोई फिल्म इंडस्ट्री या कोई भी पर्सन, डिग्निफाइड पर्सन कोई आ रहा है, या व्हाटएवर डिग्निटरीज कोई है, उनके साथ फोटोज निकालने के लिए मरे जा रहे। दे डोंट सी चेक द डिस्टेंस। अरे तुम लोग क्या कर रहे हो, ये मतलब तुम लोग इतना खो जाते हो कि दिस एज में, देन व्हाट, वी शुड नॉट टॉक अबाउट।
खोते कोई नहीं है, ये शो ऑफ भी होता है काफी बार।
यू कैन से कॉस्ट की कॉस्ट रहे,
तो वो नहीं ले पाते वो शो ऑफ का कॉस्ट। दे कांट बेयर इट, दे जस्ट वांट टू शो ऑफ। दैट इज अ डिफरेंट, completely different mindset. You can't even go to that mindset. Yes. You know, we have discussed this many times कि ये शो ऑफ को तो आप छोड़ ही दीजिए, because as I said in the last session also that क्या होता है कि if you want to take a screenshot and show off, don't come to the NGO.
राइट।
तो ये शो ऑफ जो वर्ड है ना, मेरे लिए बहुत वास्ट है मैम, बहुत वास्ट है, इसमें बहुत लोग आते हैं। नाउ देयर इज वन मोर क्वेश्चन, हाउ टू चेंज द माइंडसेट ऑफ पीपल हु फील ओनली वुमेन आर द वन हु आर टॉर्चर्ड? मोंटी, ये कौन चेंज करेगा?
mindset of the society at large has to be changed, mindset of the society, but our mindset is according to the circumstances which we people go. So in the villages, yes, I say in villages, really women have a really bad life. They are not considered as human beings. Many women are not considered as human beings. So major part it is like that, and so because of that only some 10-20% women are taking disadvantage. Because of that, the people's mindset is this. See, the people's mindset is because of this. It is not because of the 20% what they are seeing. Now people are changing. There are so many people I've come across कि कुछ नहीं मैम, ऐसे ऐसे परेशानी है हम लोग को, ये औरतें, उनका भी ऐसा माइंडसेट हो गया कि ये सब औरतों की वजह से परेशानी। To this extent, there are so many articles in the newspaper also that it is because of the girl's mother that there are such a lot of issues in the house, that there are so many articles in the newspaper. It is not like that they have one-sided. Maybe with the the people with whom you are moving around, maybe they have this kind of mind. You have to change it with only true cases.
So we see the difference. We see this difference very, very I would say very transparent, this difference and this partiality, I would use the word.
Yes,
when on the road a boy slips from his bike. Absolutely. There are 4 men who will come and help.
Yes.
पानी पिलाएंगे, पूछेंगे, 4 का 4 का 40 होगा। बट यही चीज अगर लड़की का होता है और गलती दिखता है हमें ट्रैफिक पे, और ये तो हर जगह बोला भी जाता है, आप भी अग्री करोगे कि ट्रैफिक का गलती, जो बाइक चलाने वाला गलती, विमेन का कितना होता है, मेन का कितना होता है। तो अगर लड़की गिरती है तो वहां पे 40 नहीं 400 लोग आ जाते हैं बचाने के लिए। सो यहां से एक छोटी सी, ये तो एक बहुत छोटी सी एग्जांपल है। सो इट इज अगेन कमिंग बैक, इट इज नॉट अबाउट मेन एंड वुमेन, द लॉ पार्शियलिटी, वी आर जस्ट टॉकिंग हियर कि अगर औरतों को प्रॉब्लम है तो वो लीगली कौन सी तरफ जा सकते हैं, कैसे जा सकते हैं। लड़कों को प्रॉब्लम है तो बॉयज एंड मेन, कम ऑन, you have your individuality, you're also a part of the society, and you have to take an action if you think you are right. अगर
Yes.
आपको लगता है कि आप genuinely right हो, you have to stand up and you have to make a difference. You just don't wait for a difference, try to make a difference. If you feel that you have been harassed, go. The legal doors are open for you, the law doors are open for you. It is nothing like, and don't take it to ego. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता कि मैं लड़का हूं, मैं जाऊंगा तो मेरा मजाक उड़ाने दो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। बिकॉज यू आर फेसिंग द डिफिकल्टी, एज मैम सेड, सोसाइटी इज नॉट गोना कम एट योर प्लेस एंड फीड यू, यू हैव टू टेक अ स्टैंड। इफ यू डू नॉट टेक, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू स्टैंड एनीवेयर देन।
Yes.
और ये एक, आई थिंक मैम, एक इसके वजह से एक और बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम आई फील हो जाता है कि मर्दों में एक माइंडसेट लॉ के खिलाफ हो जाता है।
Hmm. Hmm.
लॉ के खिलाफ एक माइंडसेट हो जाता है। बिकॉज सुना भी है, देखा भी है मैंने कि कुछ लॉयर्स भी होते हैं जो आदमी को डरा देते हैं, नहीं नहीं तेरा हो गया ना, अब तो तू गया, लॉ तो पूरा औरत को ही सपोर्ट कर। अरे तो हम क्यों आए, मतलब हम भी तो लॉफुली आए हैं यहाँ पे दुनिया में।
Right.
We have got a birth certificate. The government has approved our birth. Why would law give us a kick? I don't think so. This is absolutely wrong.
Front of law, everyone is equal, and
Exactly.
type of cases in the last 15-20 years, which the type of cases we people had, because of that the image is such that the law does not support men, but it is not like that. If you are on true, and if you are not at fault, then naturally it is going to support you. Only you should have the confidence, you should have the guts to come forward and to report things. And that is why I said ना that even people, ऐसा है कि कुछ problems है तो वो counseling तक जाने के लिए अपना mindset नहीं है in our society. Why? Because people think that क्या वो लोग कि मैं counsel कर पास. It is not. See, people in the foreign countries, people easily go to the psychiatrist. But here we are not even ready to go to the counselor. Why? Because अपना वो जो डर है लोगों का, चार लोग क्या कहेंगे, that type of thing is कि चार लोग क्या,
ये चार लोग कभी मिल जाए ना तो एक्चुअली मजा आ जाए। ये चार लोग जो है वो हर जगह कुछ ना कुछ बोलते रहते हैं। और आपने जैसे कहा कि साइकेट्रिक ट्रीटमेंट, यहाँ पे एक होता है कि जैसे फॉरेन कंट्रीज में साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास इसलिए जाते हैं क्योंकि साइकेट्रिस्ट वहां पे एक डॉक्टर कहलाया जाता है।
राइट
यहाँ पे साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास अगर गया है मतलब वो आदमी पागल है।
राइट राइट,
ये
माइंडसेट.
जो माइंडसेट है, अरे साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास गया मतलब पागल हो गया, अरे पागल नहीं है, कुछ हो सकता है प्रॉब्लम। यू नो, एवरी टाइम यू गो टू साइकेट्रिस्ट, इट्स नॉट दैट आप पागल हो।
राइट, द माइंडसेट
कुछ ट्रीटमेंट होता है।
द इशू हियर.
So if you go for a pimple or an acne to a skin specialist, does it mean कि आपको skin disease हो गया?
राइट
I
राइट.
mean, why do people think like this? There is one more question which says men's cell in Nasik is virtually dormant.
I told you, no. I'll give you the number. Men's cell. It is. See, if you go to the police station and if you report, and as I said, we have for the further investigation, we investigate even the chats and all. So if you are true again, it is not going. And if you report it to the police, even the police people, every day they handle so many cases. They know who is at fault. If you, they discuss so many cases with me. If you try, if you ever listen to them, you will understand what the scenario, how the scenario has changed. But again, I will say that there are, when this again this sexual harassment law, when it has to be enforced by all the organizations, maybe they are working. See, if you are having an organization of 10 or more people, you need to have a posh committee there. But there are, how see the percentage of people who are working on it. People don't try to, even if they are having any issues in the organization, they hide them. Even the owners and the employees. If you expect it that from the third person he is doing, because they think that this will spoil their organization's image. It is from this. And there are so many ladies, they have to face so many problems for this. It is not as simple, but people are not changing their mindset. And
So,
one,
ma'am, according to you, what steps should be taken, not only by the organizations now, I would ask, because organization would say हमारा नाम का problem हो सकता है, हमारी image का problem हो सकता है. What, according to the law and according to a citizen of the country, what as young generation of the country, the younger generations or the future generation should take care, and इस mindset को किस तरीके से change किया जा सकता है? What do you think?
see, कुछ भी कोई भी चीज खुद से बिगिन करनी चाहिए. प्रैक्टिस व्हाट यू प्रीच. अगर तुम दूसरे को बोल रहे हैं कि अरे नहीं नहीं तू जाके रिपोर्ट कर, तो फर्स्ट थिंग you should do it from you should motivate your people. What happens is we usually try to, if such a person comes to you, we usually try to ask him that जाने दे ना, छोड़ दे, तू क्या झंझट पुलिस का लेता है, तू क्या झंझट बोल देता है, सब बाकी सब लोग तेरे को ही बोलेंगे. All these things happen. We try to counsel the person other way. Instead, you talk to the person, you build that confidence, and you support such people. You be the people supporting such people who have been harassed. You try to report. See, even a person, see, organizations also don't know one thing, that if they do not have such a committee, and if they have such a case, and the case flares up or it goes to the police station, the lady or the person, whoever is harassed, and goes to the police station, the police will first find it out whether you are having a committee, and you will be fined for it.
No, but here you are saying that help a person.
Yes.
But there are people who are not ready to go. See, if I have a problem, you are helping me out,
Yes.
and you are saying that मैं जाके complain करती हूँ Rohan on your behalf.
No,
But I am not ready to complain. Then what will you do?
yes, this is this. Then you cannot win. You have to convince the person.
Yeah.
You cannot. At least you take him to a counselor. See, we have in the police department also we have a women's cell, Nirbhaya cell, all these things. Even the police themselves, if you men are having, I told you that there's a men helpline number. You can call them immediately. They will motivate you. If ever you are having such issues, Sanket Rabade, as I said in the last session, he's my student and he's dealing with these cases, only will talk to you. If you have any,
I hope nobody has a problem like that, because
yes,
it's a
yes. But if
yeah.
ever have, you please forward me your query and I'll see to it that Sanket deals it properly.
So, people who are online, hi Shweta and everyone. Right now, we have discussing about a lot of legal issues that people जो लोगों को लगता है क्या है और actually जो practically चलता है क्या है. So, on this note, I would again like to welcome every person who has just joined in, who have joined in late, or who have joined in from the beginning, or who have joined right now. I'll just revise. We were talking today on all the questions that were left, as in the section 498 and sexual harassment and compensation and alimony and a lot of other issues that men and women face. But एक बड़ा problem है जो लड़के हैं, जो men हैं, they do not come forward to report the cases. I think ये तो लड़कियों में भी होता होगा, काफी लड़कियां नहीं report करती.
I told you, hardly any cases are reported. There are so many and hardly any cases are reported, and you need to make your mind tough for that. You need to each other, and once you see you make a beginning from your own self, that if ever you come across any person having such an issue, you support that person. You don't support the wrong thing, or you don't support, or you don't ask him to keep quiet कि जाने दो यार, लोग बदनामी हो गया ना. See, it is, as we said just now, Monty had a question that how to deal with the mindset. It is we people who are going to deal with the mindset. We will change it from ourselves, and then only expect that the society change. See, apna society has a sheep mentality. You understand that if a person begins, no one is ready to make a beginning. If a person,
भेड़ की चाल.
yes, if a person begins, other people will start following. But someone has, and the person who begins, he has has to struggle a lot to go towards the end. But he has to make a beginning.
Yeah, you have to. If you want a change, you need to bring a change and you have to start the change. You can't just wait for the change. And right now, again, Rutuja and other people have joined in. So थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे बहुत इंटेंस सब्जेक्ट हो गया है, तो मैं एक इंटेंस सब्जेक्ट से लेके एक बार मैं अपने दूसरे सीरीज का जो है थोड़ा सा प्रमोशन कर दूं, बचपन स्टोरीज दैट वी आर ब्रिंगिंग वेरी वेरी सून, क्योंकि जैसे ये इंटेंस स्टोरीज है और इंटेंस प्रैक्टिकलिटी ऑफ लाइफ है, we are going through a very intense माहौल आजकल बाहर. The situation is very intense. So Bachpan Stories is definitely gonna take you back over there to the nostalgic moments that you have spent in your childhood. It's gonna be a very fun-loving and a lot of nostalgic moments will be coming back. So stay tuned for the Bachpan Stories which is coming up. And coming back to this, Rohan has asked one more question. Maintaining decency in public can be a good start to change the mindset is what I feel. Definitely, Rohan, but here I would like to add something is for a generation which say 90s ka generation hai. Let's go into 80s, 70s, 60s, 90s generation. For everyone, decency is different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So today, if you say that a girl and a boy giving a hug, for many of them it would be यार क्या रास्ते पे hug करने की क्या जरूरत है? But for today's generation, it's just a warmth feeling. They don't take that seriously at times.
Or here I'm not going against a hug. It is not that.
No, I'm coming to the entire thing. The body language says it all. Definitely. Now, I would not say the decency part, but I would say decent and indecent people are everywhere. Now, the indecency should be taken care of, not lightly, but you have to take strict laws against it. You have to put in strict laws. जैसे यहाँ पे let's take a complete different example. लॉकडाउन चल रहा है, पर लोग घूम रहे हैं. लोग घूमते हैं, यहाँ वहां जाते हैं, फोटोज डालते हैं. आप घूमो पर फोटोज मत डालो. This is what I feel. Personal opinion again. You are actually instigating someone else or telling someone else कि अरे सब कुछ ठीक है, हम लोग जा रहे हैं, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? आपको देखा देखी दूसरा आदमी बाहर आता है, उसको देखा देखी दूसरा बाहर आता है, and the situation is not going down. People like you and me who are following laws and we are home. I am home since the last bloody 1.5 2 months. I'm not going out. But suddenly, one day I come to know in the news कि अब lockdown extend हो गया है because of these stupid people. So I will obviously get irritated. So rather than putting a fine of 5,000, bloody put a fine of 10,000 to these people. So इसी तरह decent indecent behaviors को भी आपको law थोड़ा सा strict करना पड़ेगा, because as we know, we as Indians do not understand जब तक थोड़ा सा यहाँ एक लगती नहीं. पता नहीं क्यों काफी लोग हैं, और आप अग्री करोगे, I am not feeling any 1% shame on saying this, that I include myself also in a lot of things. हमारे यहाँ पे ये एक रूल बन गया कि हम नहीं मानेंगे, हम मानेंगे ही नहीं. हमारे ईगो के अलग है, खिलाफ है, मानना हमारा ईगो के खिलाफ है. सो इन लोगों को जब तक यहाँ एक पढ़ती नहीं, ये लोग सुनते नहीं, तो इनको सुनाओ. टेक द लॉज स्ट्रिक्ट, ओनली देन दीज थिंग्स विल गो ऑन. दिस इज व्हाट आई फील. या अश्विनी, प्लीज.
Yes. See, law strict means नहीं तो फिर हर एक आदमी के पीछे एक पुलिस लगाना पड़ेगा. ये तो पॉसिबल नहीं है. See, this is a responsibility where we should change, and we should, that it is everyone should take up that responsibility.
Right.
It is what just think and ask yourself that am I educated for all these kind of things, or am I taking my whatever higher studies and all these things? You think of rational. I'm here again. I would like to repeat that I'm not going against any people hugging each other. I understand, and that is a very natural sign. That is not at all. I'm never against it. But
That's जादू की जप्पी.
yes, absolutely, and that is essential. That is, it is essential also. It is not that
Yep.
it, but the way you sit, the way you interact when you are in cafes, when you are in the college campus, or wherever you are sitting, you should understand how to, the bare minimum things you should understand, that how it is going to create an impact. I've seen so many society and building people that if there are youngsters in their building and they behave in such a kind, naturally the people of the small kids, the parents of the small kids, they go and complain to their parents कि आपके बच्चों की वजह से हमारे बच्चे बिगड़ रहे. Why? Because they see they are going to behave according what these people are. They are going to imitate. Again, I would say that there is a decency has some different meaning. A dignified behavior has a different meaning, and the appropriate word for here is chichorapan, as I said. If you you understand the meaning of that, that is there. That is not allowed. Friendship, healthy friendship, having good friendship, and interacting. All these things are all these things will be welcome if you follow some dignified standards. And as someone had raised a question that what if it is affecting our family life? Then if it is affecting your family life, stop it. If your spouse is not ready to understand, then stop it. You try to convince your spouse. You can explain. वो अगर तुम्हारा सच में friend होगा सामने वाला, then that person will understand. If he doesn't understand, he is not your friend. Simple thing. If you explain that it to the person that मेरे family में issues है, and he understands, then he is your friend. And if it doesn't understand, he is not your friend. So you try to derive the answer for your own self through this.
Right. Hi Rutuja, hi Leena, hi everyone who has joined in. So I'm so sorry. The topic is going so intense that I can't say a hi to everyone. But dil se sabhi ko thank you very much that you have joined in. If you have any questions, you can start pouring in the questions. If at all हम लोग questions का आंसर नहीं दे पाए तो extremely sorry क्योंकि इसका window बहुत छोटा है. कभी questions ऊपर चले जाते हैं. So now there is one more question. Rutuja, before going on for the question, Rutuja, you have said waiting for 55. I mean, what? You want to turn 55? Why? Why do you want to turn 55? Rutuja, if you're there, just let me know. Waiting for 55 क्या था? So I have not. I don't know what you have asked for. And basic charges of a lawyer. Basic charges of a lawyer. अगर वो सेक्शन एस्टेब्लिश होता है 498 वाला, कैन यू जस्ट गिव अस एन आइडिया और इट इज
No, it again will depend on the lawyer.
Okay.
It will depend on the
So
lawyer.
that was Monty's question again.
If you need any guidance, you can ask me. I'll, according to your budget, I can channelize you to the lawyer.
वाह, देखिए बजट्स के ऊपर है सब कुछ. बस पर मैं बोलूंगा पहले स्टैंड लेना बहुत जरूरी है हर एक को, वो लड़का हो या लड़की हो. प्लीज टेक प्रॉपर स्टैंड. एंड सॉरी अश्विनी कि मैं बहुत प्राउडली एक चीज कहना चाहूंगा यहाँ पे. आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर दिस विद एवरीवन हु इज ऑनलाइन. आई थिंक 2 years back I had made a short story, a short movie. मेरा एक कॉन्सेप्ट चलता है एक सोच, जिसमें हम लोग छोटे छोटे सोशल इश्यूज पे मूवीज बनाते हैं 15-20 मिनट का. वहां पे मैंने ये सब्जेक्ट रेज किया था ऑफ इट वाज नेम्ड एज द शॉर्ट स्टोरी वाज नोन एज राइज, RISE. जैसे सनराइज होता है, इट वाज सेड राइज. एंड इसमें 3 औरतों की कहानी बताई है. जो एक है जो एक काम करते हैं, वर्किंग लेडी हु डील्स विथ लॉट ऑफ मेन. तो उनको हरेसमेंट किस तरीके से होता है, लुक से भी काफी बार लोग हरेस करते हैं, विच इज अगेन अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स उसके ऊपर बहुत लोग इंपॉर्टेंस देते नहीं, बट दैट्स अ वेरी वेरी बैड थिंग. सो एक कहानी वो थी. उसी में एक कहानी थी कि एक औरत जो घर का काम करती है, हाउ शी बिन harassed by the husband, and एक we had taken an Muslim character जहां पे वो पूरे बुरखे में है ऊपर से लेके नीचे तक, फिर भी लोग उसे फॉलो क्यों करते हैं? एंड हाउ डू यू हैव टू टेक अ स्टैंड? How do you have to take a stand if such things happens with you? So ultimately the focus was taking a stand. Rise. It means please stand up. Please stand up if you're seeing something wrong. And you are a lawyer. I don't know if you agree to this, to my statement, but why do we always have to say empower women, empower women? Don't you think that women are already empowered? They are more strong
So
in every which ways.
the meaning of empowerment is not only education and people supporting you. The meaning of true empowerment is that you should understand what is justice and what is injustice. You should understand the difference between the right and the wrong.
Yeah.
You should. It is not see, only you are qualified does not mean that you are empowered.
No, but why this statement of only empower women, empower now? So I think after this discussion, it should be men and women.
There is a need of empowering men also.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
men and women.
Empowering is not in terms of money that I'm earning means I'm empowered.
Exactly.
If I stand for my own self, I'm not empowered. If I cannot take a stand for a person who is correct, I'm not empowered. It has, many dimensions. Empowerment,
Right.
many dimensions, and we are just thinking it from the money aspect and from the education.
One.
So if you look at it as a whole, it will mean that as a person, it will mean a holistic development only of a person. It does not
So
mean
here, I'm so sorry, but मुझे याद आया, ये मैंने क्वेश्चन लिखा था और आपने वो बोल दिया, क्योंकि हम लोग का वो क्वेश्चन नहीं था, वो एक चीज स्किप हो गई थी और ये आपने बोल दिया, इसलिए मैं कट कर रहा हूं आपको, सॉरी. वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट एलिमनी एंड कॉम्पेंसेशन right in the start, right?
yes,
And you just said empowerment is not only about money,
yes.
right? So ये मैंने क्वेश्चन लिखा था, but in the entire conversation I missed out that. I asked you, is there a percentage of alimony? You said वैसा नहीं होता है. So is it जैसे अगर कोई is of a good age group which is not a very like 55 60 70 plus नहीं है, I think तभी भी डिवोर्स होते होंगे.
Yes, yes.
Right? Yeah. So अगर वो age group है तो it is obviously you need to help because that person is not in an age group to go outside and earn.
Right.
Does the law see that age group also?
See,
And if at all, the age group is less, the age group is lesser, and that person can work. They are educated enough to work,
yes.
but they do not want to work. And then still they can ask for alimony. Is this the law permits this? I wanted to ask you.
All these factors are considered while thinking of them. You cannot burden only the man for that. All these aspects, whichever questions you have asked, the age group, whether the person can earn, whether he or she is qualified, how many liabilities that person is having, all these factors are considered, and then the a point of time or whatever point is reached that this and alimony is reached. Even if it is decided, it further is decided, it is to be given one time or it is to be given every month. It is according to the situation. It depends entirely on the situation. As I said, the financial aspects, everything, and consider. See, अगर कोई बिलियनर का ये हो तो उसका naturally उसका alimony तो बहुत सारे billions में and all these things, property and everything में. अगर कोई एकदम आम आदमी का हो, then naturally you just compare these two alimonies, you get the answer.
बेचारे बिल अंकल का हुआ ना, अभी उनको बिल फटा था बड़ा. I think Bill Gates का हो गया. So yeah, so I think there's a bit of a network issue right now. I hope everyone, yeah. Am I audible now? Yeah. So Bill uncle का भी कुछ हुआ था, Bill Gates का, उनका बड़ा बिल फट गया.
उनका और आम आदमी का कुछ कंपैरिजन है क्या? There is no comparison. That is what I wanted.
Yeah. So now we have next 5 minutes to ask for questions. If now we have any questions left, because I think Ashwini ji, आपको कोई ऐसा question जो आपको पूछा गया था and we have not covered that?
No. Only one question is what is you said that you are a behavior and soft skills trainer, but that is too big a topic.
No. That I think people will directly communicate with you. They will message you depending on that. But is there any more questions that can be answered right now related to the laws and legal aspects about anything that you have a question? And again, we are not here for any kind of an argument or changing the law. We are just here for a proper discussion. And it is not against women, for women, or for men. I need to be very clear with that. Yeah, women have shown during this pandemic that women don't need to be empowered. Yes, Monty. So let's not empower them now. Let's empower all the men who have not been empowered up till now with a lot of knowledge. And yes, so anything that people want to ask, if you can, I think यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा block हो गया ये, so I'm not able to read questions which are coming in. The screen is not moving. Okay, so Ashwini ji, कोई ऐसा question जो आपके दिमाग में है जो आपको बोलना है इन लोगों को, that how do we get into it?
I could tell you all one thing, that sexual harassment does not mean that see, suppose you know the kind of eve teasing, if you know eve teasing, just you know, singing some songs or stalking a person on the social media or physically, that also is sexual harassment. And it
is sexual harassment.
Of course, the Hindi movies, they have hyped and they have given it you know, like that the hero, if he is stalking the heroine, it means he is loving her. It is not like that. Stalking does even has a person who is stalking can be in prison also. If the person who is being stalked, he or she tells him or her that your behavior or I don't approve or your behavior, indirectly or directly, the person has to stop.
So people don't stalk me.
Yes. So stalking or even on the social media is incorrect. It is not sexual harassment, means it does not mean, even through, as we said, even through the eyes, you can make it out from a person's eyes that that person is good or bad, whether that look is good or bad. Any person can make it out. Ladies, they have their inner instinct, and please, the moment you get such a, am I audible?
Yeah, you are. I'm just not able to move the screen, and maybe some questions are there. वो एक ही जगह पे stick हो गया है, maybe because of the internet issue. Yeah, you can please carry on.
So you know, all these things you should consider, that passing comments, even harassing a lady for something else, that in the office people take you know, misuse their positions, that your promotion will not be approved, and all these things also can term, if it has a previous background, or if he is doing it. There are some organizations where even gender equality is promoted. So if someone is not being promoted because she is a lady, that also is termed, that it is harassment only. So you have to take care. Sexual harassment doesn't mean that only physical abuse and all these things.
Right. Okay. So I think we have covered enough. I think, and we have covered all the topics that were asked for. And I hope there are no more questions. If you have any questions, people, you can directly contact Ashwini ma'am. The Insta ID is already there. You can directly contact her. Or else, if you ask me, I'll give the phone. Am I okay? Am I
Yes, absolutely
able to give the phone number? Is it okay?
Yes.
So I have to ask you. And yeah, so now after this intense topic, now it's already 9 o'clock and you guys have to have dinner. After dinner, you have to get freshen up, and after getting freshen up, you have to come to the Facebook. Log into the Facebook because DJ Monty is gonna play all the dance numbers tonight. So let's be a bit refreshed. और कल बॉलीवुड अनप्लग था, आज सारे प्लग लगा दिए हैं मोंटी ने, एंड वी आर ऑल गोना हैव अ ब्यूटीफुल डांस सेशन. एंड अश्विनी जी प्लीज, आज तो आपको भी लॉग इन करना है दोनों बच्चों के साथ, थोड़ा सा डांस हो जाए. So we can keep those videos also on the IGTV.
Yeah.
So okay, jokes apart. So Monty is gonna be there, and we are gonna enjoy all the dance numbers, guys. Before logging off, I really need to say this. Thank you very much for all the questions that has been poured for every 10 sessions that we have done up till now. This was the part 2. एंड आई एम सो हैप्पी कि अगर यही इसी तरह पार्ट 2s होते रहे सारे सेशंस के, इट शोज दैट जितना मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूँ टू गेट पीपल अलोंग, आई एम रियली हैविंग अ गुड टाइम डूइंग दिस, and this is a way of appreciation that you can give it to me if you guys love me, and all the hearts that has been given. So now one more thing, that this is for all the people who want to promote their business, promote their products, promote their services, or promote themselves with our channel. I've come up with a concept of Grow More. You can directly contact me and I'll give you the details, and we can promote your business. Let's everyone together come. Let's everyone together hold hands. और जितना लॉस हुआ है इस पेंडेमिक में, सभी लोगों का हुआ है, we can all help our local people to grow together. बिकॉज आई थिंक अगर मेरी सिटी का एक भी बंदा ग्रो होता है मैडम, तो हम लोग भी ग्रो होंगे, बिकॉज द बिजनेस विल बी ओनली सर्कुलेटेड अमंगस्ट आवर सिटी. आई एम नॉट बीइंग सेल्फिश, आई एम बीइंग वेरी सेल्फिश दैट माय सिटी शुड ग्रो नाउ. You know, everyone has suffered losses, financial losses, people lost, the debts that has been in the families. So now it's time, let's grow together. Let's hold hands and let's do it. So you can just promote your business. Thank you, Ashwini ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the people. Please contact Ashwini ma'am if at all you want any legal guidance. I hope you do not need it ever in your life, but still, if you need it, you can directly contact her. Ma'am, we all are meeting on Monty's online session right now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, people. Have a great weekend. Please wear your mask if you're going out. Please take the vaccines whenever you get the slots. Please be safe, fit, fantastic, fabulous, and let's meet next Wednesday for the same but a different style of session. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.